Hello, young witches and wizards. Welcome to another video as part of your Magewort School of Magic training. Today we are going to be learning about the history of divination. We will begin by looking at what divination actually is. We will look at an example of Greek divination by learning about oracles. Then we will take a look at a practice of chiromancy or palm reading. Next we will learn about augury. And finally, we will learn about Viking runestone magic. Divination has been practiced for thousands of years all over the world. Each culture has their own forms of divination, some of which we will explore in this video. But first, we need to understand what divination is. The word divination comes from the Latin word divinare, which means to foresee or predict. Divination is the practice of seeking knowledge about the future or the unknown, generally through supernatural means, like crystal balls, palm reading, or card reading. Nature is usually very important in divination. Even today we carry with us some superstitions that we believe will help us tell the future or tell us our luck. Things like finding a four-leaf clover or seeing a shooting star can be considered good luck, while things like coming across a black cat or a large flock of birds is considered bad luck. Often, these symbols of good or bad luck are referred to as omens, signs that tell you something good or bad is going to happen. But divining your future can also be done in other ways. Divination can be done with physical objects that have a spiritual importance. Things like bones, shells, stones, tea leaves, or cards, but can also be done through people, such as oracles. Ancient Greek priests and priestesses sometimes held a special role, called an oracle. The term oracle means to speak. People who were oracles would speak for the gods. Sometimes these oracles would give predictions for the future. People genuinely believed that the advice of oracles was always correct. So if something did not turn out, people would think that they misinterpreted what the oracle said, not that the oracle was wrong. Some of these oracles were very important to ancient Greek culture. The Pythia, for example, as seen depicted in this painting, was the name for the high priestess and oracle to the god Apollo. People would seek out oracles for their wisdom and advice. But the Greeks had other forms of divination as well. The practice of chiromancy, or palm reading, was also done by the ancient Greeks. However, it was not exclusive to that area. Palm reading was also practiced in India, Tibet, Nepal, and China. Chiromancy is the practice of reading and interpreting lines and grooves on a person's hand. People in the past believed that these marks on your hand could tell you all about a person's character. It was believed that you could tell a lot about a person by closely examining the color of the hand, the length of the fingers, and how flexible the hand was. But most commonly, the lines on the hand were studied to predict a person's future. Heart lines could determine if you could find love during your life. It didn't always have to do with romantic love, but also with friendships. Lifelines from the edge of the palm above the thumb and arc towards the wrist. The length of this line was said to determine if you would live a long and healthy life. The longer the line, the longer the life. Augury was a Roman and Etruscan practice that tried to predict the future based on observing the sky and the birds. An augur was a priest and a high-class Roman official who read and explained these signs from above. One important source of prediction came from the appearance of lightning in the sky, which meant that the god Jupiter, or Zeus, was unhappy. Augury often had to do with looking at the signs of birds. Two kinds of birds were observed: Oskins, like ravens, crows, and owls, who gave signs and messages through singing, and aletes, like eagles and vultures, who gave signs via their movements. The flight patterns, eating habits, and songs of birds all had different meanings and could signify that either good or bad things would happen in the future. But divination was also practiced by the Vikings. The Viking writing system, called runes, was also used in divination. According to the Old Norse collection of poems called the Poetic Edda, runic inscriptions held magical powers. With these inscriptions, you could predict the future, protect a person against misfortune, or you could write down curses and spells. In the Poetic Edda, we hear how runes and magical words were used in relation to health. In Egil Skallagrimsson's saga, the Skald Egil, a poet and sorcerer, used runes to cure a sick young girl who had been enchanted by false runes. Egil carved new runes, placed them under her pillow, and as a result, the girl was healed. In this story, you can see how runes could be used to place curses on people, but also to heal them and provide good fortune. In the photo is the Glavendrup stone from Denmark. This stone is from the 900s and contains a curse for anyone who dares to move or damage the stone. The curse clearly works, as this stone still stands strong to this day. We have covered a lot of different kinds of divination in today's lesson. Everything from oracles to chiromancy and augurs to runic magic. What kind of divination was your favorite? Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to check out the runestone activity in your magical compendium. You will have the chance to read and write your own runes, and also make your own runes out of clay. You will find all the materials you need for these activities in your box. Also be sure to check out the other content on our WordPress page. There you will find more fun videos and craft tutorials.